Teehee, guess who's back? Back again. So I just got back from Anime Expo. I hope my volume is okay. I don't think anyone's here yet. Is anyone here yet? Hello, chats? Is anyone here? Am I alone? No, I'm playing. So yeah, I spent this weekend in LA. I went to AX with family. I've spent too much money, I think. Well, how much money is too much, you know? Like, okay, that's not good advice, you know? However, I think it would be very, very, very funny if I could have, shown anything that I bought on stream. However, I do not have a face cam yet. And that is why I am currently H-wagging these nuts on your fucking face, you know? So, I guess, if all is well, I'll just start playing the game. I hope the audio is okay. Maybe? Unsure. I think that's okay. Yeah? Yeah? I hope. Why is my stream manager acting stupid? Hello? Bing bong? Help? Okay, well, that's as good as we're gonna get. Let me just do this and check everything. Okay, that looks fine, I think. Yeah. Disclaimers. Ooh, this is smart. Streamers and content. Oh. Streamers and content creators should turn music volume down to 0 in order to disable copyrighted music. How do I do that now? This is demo of the prologue and not the finished product. Oh yeah, and today's game, visual novel, is called TOUCHSTARVED, which you probably know from the title, I hope, and not... Don't... I was about to say I'm not touch-starved, however, that is a lie. Content warning! TOUCHSTARVED is intended for an older audience, correct? It contains mature content that includes, but is not limited to, horror, graphic violence, strong language, alcohol and drug references, injury, and dismemberment. Player discretion is advised. If you accept the content warning, please click to proceed. In TOUCHSTARVED, your choices matter. The decisions you make may result in unique dialogue, interactions, or even choices in red text, which contain exclusive content. Try playing through the demo more than once and choosing different options. You might even uncover a secret ending. And remember, there are no wrong choices, only interesting ones. Choose wisely and save often. Control, left click to progress, mouse wheel up, rewind, mouse wheel down, press text, spacebar to hide UI, press basic. Elena, that's my name. Wait, hold on. Let me turn down music volume right now. There we go. I'm gonna turn up. Yeah. Choose my pronouns. Let's go. She, her. Yeah. I think. Whew. This world began to unravel long before you were born. Okay, let me... It began with fogfall. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality wore so thin it split. And from that fog emerged monsters, inhuman beings with unnatural powers. Some possessed language and intellect, while others were mindless beasts driven by little more than the desire to slaughter. As cities fell and unrest spread, humans united in their fear while monsters thrived in the chaos. And then there's you. You're not even sure if you're human. You were born cursed, with hands that alter the minds of anyone you touch. Choose your backstory. Ooh. Oh! Okay. The Unnamed, a fallen oracle. You were raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priest claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it is. Following the mage's word, you fled in search of the cenobium. You regularly experience unnatural premonitions that rattle your body and soul, an innate sixth sense that gives you a heightened awareness of hidden supernatural presences around you. Oh my gosh, I can't read. The Hound, a forsaken thief. You were raised by society's outcasts, criminals who accepted you when nobody else would. Your partner in crime, a friend since childhood, helped you steal enough money for a cure, then betrayed you. They left you with only enough coin to travel to the cenobium, your last hope. You have sharply honed social intuition. You can survive and even thrive in the violent underbelly of any city, using your experience of the underworld to get ahead. Or I can be the alchemist, an abandoned mage. An exiled cenobium mage took you in as a child, raising you as her apprentice. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was cultivating you as a test subject. You fled to the cenobium, seeking a cure. You are an experienced spellcaster with encyclopedic knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With a little observation, you can identify the subtle effects of magic. I think I like the Oracle one. We're going with that one, guys. Yeah. Confirm. I hope it's normal that I can't hear anything, because, what the heck? Ooh. I don't know. Your backstory is the unnamed. Is this correct? Yart. Ooh. Why is... Oh, hold on, let me... There we go. Oh, wait. The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out here but death, the ever-present stench of decay, and countless sun-bleached bones cast like seeds across the barren land. I could say death doesn't scare me, but to tell the truth, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan, bound across the wastes. Finding a group that would accept me was a trial in itself. As rations grew sparse and my canteen ran dry, I began to despair. But then I saw it. Aridia, the city of knowledge, one of the last bastions of humanity left in the world, and home to the famous academy called the Cenobium. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I'll find a cure for my curse, it's there. All that stands between me and a cure is the final stretch of salt-soaked waste. Or so I think, until I see the first tendrils of fog marking... Oh! Tendrils of fog snaking beneath the wagon. Is this fogfall? My stomach sinks. Okay. Wait, I didn't read. My stomach sinks at the very whisper of it. A silent storm more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, smothering out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. An eerie silence, heavy as mist, falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangled scream. Stay back! No! The cry dissolves into wet gurgling. Ew. Oh shit, that was loud. Oh, then the wagon violently pitches to the side. I hit the ground hard, the air punched from my lungs. God damn, guys. When I open my eyes, adrenaline lends sudden, awful clarity to the carnage around me. A trader I once shared bread with lies face down in the mud, their back reduced to long strings of torn muscle, gleaming bristle, and exposed bone. Bodies litter the wasteland. Hold on. Come in. Sorry. I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding. White blooms. Oh, what the hell am I looking at? Light blooms across my vision. Only when my eyes adjust do I see the dark shape in front of me. Oh, hell no. A soul stoops over the twisted form of the caravaner. Ooh. I freeze, but it swivels its head. A dozen bulging eyes twitch in my direction and blink as well. Oh, that is loud. The soul lets out an ear-splitting shriek and runs at me. 1 second. Yeah, like that. Is this timed? But right before it reaches me, the beast barrels past, vanishing into the mist. Distantly, a horse screams in the dark. I need to move now. Run toward to the city, I think. I take off, running deeper into the haze. The fog is so thick that I fear. Oh, wait. That I fear I'm heading. I can't read. That I fear I'm heading. I keep reading the wrong word. Oh my god. That I fear I'm headed in the wrong direction until I see a dim pinprick of light emanating from the shadow of a spire. It's faint, but it's enough. I came too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the opaque mist for its source, but the fogfall twists and stretches sound. Suddenly, the caravaner's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. He slams into me, knocking me to the ground, and slips in a patch of mud. The soulless falls on him as soon as he slows. It catches the driver by his throat and rakes his stomach with razor-sharp claws. He comes apart like wet paper. Ooh! Spilling intestines and viscera in a steaming tide. Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery muck for a handhold. Shit. My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib jutting up from the water. Bandages unfurl around the gouge torn deep into my palm. The pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrist. Hello? Hi, sir. Can you stand? One of the travelers from the caravan leans over me. We need to run. I know we do. They reach for my hand, and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. No, don't touch me. The sensation of their thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch, and in the space of a breath, my curse takes hold. Oh! Oh, hell no. Their lips peeled back into a deranged grin. Oh, that's unsettling. No. I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse, madness of my own making. Their grip on my hands tightens until pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me go. Suddenly, clammy hands crush my throat, choking off my breath. Am I gonna die this early into the playthrough? Die. Die, 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 die. Spit bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flecks my face. Ew. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs scream for air. I gotta fight. I don't think anyone else is gonna be around here. My nails gouge deep into their direction. Ooh, travelers there is, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. Hello? Am I really gonna die? The more I struggle, the tighter their grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with each thudding beat. This can't be happening. I'm going to die. Not because of fogfall or the soulless, but because of my own curse. Tears sting my eyes. No, 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 not here. Not like this. The hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. My vision clears and the traveler's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine, lips still split in that macabre smile, even as blood seeps between their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath, then slumps over the claws hooked through their They give one last shuddering breath, then slump over the claws hooked through their stomach. Okay, yeah. There we go. Ew. Oh, hell no. The soulless shoves the body aside, and the glowing eyes studying its leathery skin thin as though grinning. Oh. Hello? There's a flash of claws. Red spill across my vision. I thought there'd be pain, but as I sink into murky water, oh my god, I'm actually dying this early into the playthrough. All I can feel is the grit of silt filling my mouth and the icy embrace of shallow water. Distantly, I notice an arm resting among an outcrop of reeds, mine neatly severed at the elbow. Oh my god! It should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Instead, I'll die cold, alone, and face down in a desolate wasteland. Oh my god, I actually did. A fitting end for a monstrosity like me. Oh. If this is death, it's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of bog water. I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion, until all thought and sensation vanished. No curse. Nobody howling at me in madness and terror. Nothing at all. The thought has a terrible appeal to it. But the next moment, I take a reflexive breath. Air pours into my lungs, then out again in a ragged gasp. Feeling comes flooding back. Warm cloth on my bare skin, a firm surface underneath me, a strange tang of sulfur in the air. Oh, wait, hold on, my keyboard fucked up. Hold on. There we go. Do not be afraid. Okay? Oh, hi, sir. I twist my head towards the voice. Tears flood my bleary vision at the bright glow of lamplight. Try not to move. The voice is calm, steady, and commanding, but more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Stay away from me! My words come out in little more than a creaky whisper. I clamp my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. No. No? Who the hell is this? Well, personally, I would say laying back down. I just lost, like, a forearm, I think. I let myself slump back against the thin pillow, wincing when the motion jolts my head. Ah, a cooperative patient. Thank you. The words swim in one ear and out the other without much comprehension. I pull the sheet up higher, wiping my eyes until my vision clears. Hi, sir. The stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light reflects off his pristine medical coat. I instinctively shrink back, and that's when I notice I'm completely naked except for a thin linen sheet. Naked, lying on a low clot with a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my every move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. I plunge my hands plural? I have arm? I thought I only had one left. Okay. Under the sheet to hide them from sight, though it's too late. He must have noticed what they look like. Strange, cursed, inhuman. I brace myself for his inevitable suspicion and disgust, but his expression doesn't even flicker from that courteous smile. He just watches in placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You are safe here. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. I've never been safe anywhere, with anyone. Even the shrine of my childhood, the one sanctuary I ever knew, turned out to be a horrific lie. I scabble, pulling the sheet protectively around myself. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles the papers in his hands. I see you are not to be dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. With a soft creak, he stands from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. I seem to be in some sort of medical clinic. Bottles of silvery alchemical concoctions line the counters in neat rows. The air makes my nose twitch, a faint whiff of smoke and something distinctly metallic that I can't quite place. The doctor produces a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most, and I have to crane my neck to look up at him. Thank you. I should be polite if I can, especially since I don't know who this is, what he can do, or what he wants with me. Meeting his gaze sends a hot frisson down my spine. Something about him nags at me, like a half-formed memory I can't place. Thank you. You are welcome. I will leave you to get dressed. With a curt nod, he leaves through a narrow door. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. I count to 3 in the sudden silence. When I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. An itch on my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub at it, then freeze when my fingers meet a neat line of stitches. I have my arm again? Okay. I know what I saw. That beast took my arm clean off. And yet, my arm shows no sign of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least, gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the pleasant dream to unravel, to wake up bleeding out in the swamp. But nothing happens. The seconds tick by, and my arm remains resolutely healed, my surroundings pristine and quiet. In numb disbelief, I reach for the replacement clothes and begin stiffly pulling them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, with a black woolen cloak to go with them, but there's one thing still missing: my bandages. The golden-eyed man didn't leave me with any, even though I know he saw my hands. I slide off the bed and take a few unsteady steps toward one of the jars. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be bandages somewhere. I start opening jars at random, and of course that's when the door swings open once more. Are you looking for something? I whirl around, clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. I try to step back from him, but my legs bump up against the edge of the cot. Your caution is understandable, though if I meant you any harm, you would know. That doesn't make me feel better in the slightest, but he makes no move towards me. So I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. The glowing scars and mottled skin disappear under a layer of clean white cotton. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I clench my jaw. I knew it would only be a matter of time before he asks about my hands, though the way he does it is strangely roundabout. Aren't these the same thing? Decline to answer, say nothing. I'll decline. Well, that's a very personal question, and I don't really want to answer. Is that so? Surely you realize that I can only help if you tell me what ails you. An involuntary snort of laughter escapes me. Where would I even begin? Would he even believe me if I told him? No. Best to keep my curse to myself for now, and learn more about him first. Who are you? You may call me Kuras. And where exactly am I? Iridia, which I assume was your caravan's destination. I can think of nowhere else for a group of travelers to go. Iridia. So I made it to the City of Knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing unease. How did I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You were the only survivor from the caravan, barely clinging to life. You needed immediate treatment, which you provided? Yes. He says it so simply, as if I'm a small child and he's explaining basic addition to me. I frown and flex the fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine. Thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on? Pardon? A soulless attacked the caravan. It ripped everyone to shreds. It tore my arm clean off. But when I woke up here, I trail off, bewildered. I've never heard of any magic that could heal a mortal wound like that. What kind of person could do such a thing? The doctor, curious, pinches the bridge of his nose. He sits back down in his chair, quiet for a long time. I do not know where you come from, but Iridia is the city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Information is power, and it is most unwise to give or receive it freely. Since you have refused to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine. I do not even know your name. You are new to Iridia, so I will overlook this specific breach of etiquette. However, you should not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Do you understand? He looks pointedly at my freshly bandaged hands. Loath though I am to admit, he has a point. I'm also a complete stranger to him, and if he's telling the truth, he saved my life. I take a deep, steadying breath. This time, when I speak, I sound a bit more like myself. Elena. My name's Elena. It's a pleasure to meet you, Elena. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanor back in an instant. Why did you save me? If there's anything I've learned, it's that everybody wants something. With the world in such peril, no one reaches out a hand without expecting something in return. Can I ask why you saved my life? You don't know me. The question seems to startle Kiras. I could hardly leave you to die in the waste. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty. I've never met a doctor who also handed out free clothes. My fingers find the edges of the cloak. There's a subtle but delicately embroidered pattern around the hem. I try not to think about what kind of price Kiras might ask for such well-made clothes. No, I suppose not. Forgive my presumption. I rarely come across so fascinating a patient. I blink. What did he just say? I simply meant that a few would cling to life so resolutely or brave such a perilous journey to Iridia. I could not help being curious about you, Elena. His voice dips to a soft murmur, and he abruptly looks away from me. I'm gonna save here. Just because I tend not to save in visual novels, and that kind of screws me over. You're pretty curious yourself, or I don't know what to say to that. What was just said? Help being curious about you. You're pretty curious yourself. Am I? Well, I haven't forgotten about my arm. I wiggle my intact fingers at him. Clearly not. But you haven't asked me for any payment either. I require none from you. Travelers do not have an abundance of coin, and it would be unethical to leave you destitute in a strange place. I fall silent, unsure what to say to that. Nobody would help a whore like me for free. There has to be some kind of catch or trick, right? A loud knock at the front door stops our conversation cold and spares me from having to say anything else. Duty calls. Unfortunately, you are not my only patient today. The knocking grows more insistent, and Kiras lets out a tired sigh. Please wait your turn. Though he says it quietly, the clamor on the other side of the door abruptly stops. Do you need anything before you leave, Elena? Oh. Between the soulless attack and my miraculous survival, I'd almost forgotten why I came to Iridia in the first place. I need directions to the cenobium. The cenobium? The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cold deliberation when he speaks again. Whatever you seek, it is very unlikely you will find it there. The cenobium's gates open for precious few visitors. Even if they did, you would not like what you found inside. My heart sinks. Is he saying that I came all this way for nothing? Risked my life and limb for nothing? No, that can't be. I've only just arrived, and Iridia is the largest city still standing. There has to be a cure for me here. Then if not the cenobium, where would you suggest? Do you know anyone else in Iridia? I shake my head. Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the Wet Wick and ask for Leander. Excuse me, what? The Wet Wick. He sounds deeply unamused. Follow the postings advertising Leander's bloodhounds. They are difficult to miss. When you meet Leander, tell him I sent you. Thank you, Kiras. There isn't much to go on, but Karis points towards the clinic's back door. You will be safe so long as you do not draw attention to yourself. That's easier said than done. I've always been a magnet for the worst sort of attention. If you require my assistance, you may return whenever you wish. Maybe. Hi, sir. Hold on. Wait. Hold on, I'm checking something real quick. Okay. Though he's smiling, there's this note of finality in his voice. Resigned to my dismissal, I slip out the back door. There we go. There's the audio. I hope the audio's okay. Is it too loud? I hope not. Why? I find myself standing in a narrow and rather gloomy alley. I pull the new cloak up over my nose, stepping over the contents of chamber pots that have been emptied into the street. Ew. Something weighs heavily inside one of the cloak's pockets. My coin purse. Everything is still inside, every last coin I'd scraped together for the journey to Iridia. It doesn't even look like it was open. There were so few coins to begin with, they probably weren't worth stealing. I glanced back at the clinic's closed door. Karis didn't take any payment. He didn't even ask for a future favor. But he also said that in Iridia, secrets are power. Does he expect me to give up mine at some point? That's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Karis gave me a second chance and a lead on where I might find help. I'd better get going before he changes his mind. I squeeze out of the alley and into the crowded main street. The line outside Karis's clinic stretches down the road already. 2 thin peddlers queue alongside weathered elders. If any place is in desperate need of a free clinic, it's this one. The cobblestones are treacherously rough under my feet. Deep grooves worn between them by regular flooding and decades of hard use. I knew Iridia was a river city, but I didn't expect it to look so eroded. The buildings are tired and dilapidated, all crammed together in narrow streets. Don't forget to drink water, guys. There's something else, a charge in the air. Like the shift in pressure before their storm. It's subtle, little more than a faint, persistent thrumming, but I can't seem to shake it. A child darts by, clutching something greasy wrapped in paper. The smell of fried food drifts over to me. My stomach gives a faint gurgle. This morning's catch, fried up, hot and fresh, not too many eyeballs today. That sounds disgusting, but I'm starving, so I duck my head under the stall's grubby awning. A large fish leers up at me, its 3 bulging eyes still visible through the thick layers of crispy batter. The vendor gives me a gap-toothed grin. What's the cheapest thing you've got? The vendor points out a metal basket of what looks like long strips of savory fried dough. Fresh long lads, 3 copper apiece, don't burn your mouth. I take the coins out, counting them gingerly. At this rate, I might not even be able to afford dinner. Reluctantly, I drop the payment on the counter and take my meal. Ooh, it's pretty. 2 streets later, I pass under a wrought iron archway adorned with dangling garlands of red and pink lilies. The buildings in this quarter are... Whoa, hold on. The buildings in this quarter are a dizzying riot of color, painted walls, and tinted glass everywhere I look. Sheer red and pink curtains flutter in open doorways. Musical voices call out invitingly. Incense mingles with the pungent scent of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk of warm bodies. This must be Iridia's entertainment district. I'm polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs from my hands when I spot a poster. Is it the Wet Wick? Or the Bloodhounds? It features the silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring and the word Bloodhounds printed above his head. A motto, quote, "As above, so below," circles the artwork. If Leander is the leader of the Bloodhounds, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. I follow the line of identical posters around a corner and nearly hit my head on a precariously dangling wooden sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read, "The Wet Wick." The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. Oh, there we go. Ambiance. The inside of the bar is a far cry from the abandoned exterior. It's not even midday, yet most of the tables and booths are occupied by a loose assembly of people in matching green cloaks. Bustling bars are not something I'm used to, but I steel myself with deep breath before pushing forward. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with a dagger-shaped earring. I'm about to head towards the counter when a chant rises from the center of the room. Show! 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 The remaining green cloaks abandon the bar and their booths to rush towards the center of the room in a sudden torrent. There's no time to move out of the way. I'm caught, swept along the ale stench current. Hey! Rhythmic chanting drowns out my voice. I thrash, throwing out my elbows as the press of bodies grow heavier. My hip knocks into a table. I grip it, holding on tight to steady myself. But the crowd is stilled. The chanting stopped. A pair of gilded boots dried across the tabletop. Oh! Oh, hi, sir. Hi, tits. Okay, anyway. Seriously, you dogs? Again? Scattered laughter and cheers rise from the audience. I drag my eyes upwards, because they're stuck on his, biddies. Oh, hi, sir. A well-dressed man stands on the table in front of me, his broad shoulders framed by the thick lapels of a French trench coat. This is really the last time, all right? This time, when he speaks, the audience falls silent, as though bewitched by his magnetic presence or rich, low voice. But nothing is as captivating as his smile. He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on his makeshift stage. One second. One second, hold on. Ooh, wait. Sorry, I'm checking something real quick. Okay, never mind. There we go. Aha, we're all good again. Teehee. On his makeshift stage. Don't blink or you'll miss it. He laughs, and the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light in a flash of gold. It would seem why can't I read? It would seem I found Leander. He raises his hand above the audience and snaps. A flash of pale green. Real magic. No ordinary stage trick. Blinds me. As the brilliance ebbs, my gaze refocuses on the mage towering above me. Oh, he's so fine. Oh my god. He flicks his wrist, and the magic spiraling around him coalesces. A delicate flower stem sprouts. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers. One by one, glowing lily petals spring forth. With a flourish, the maid presents his conjured flowers. The audience bursts into clapping and cheers. Woo! A genuine magic show was the last thing I expected from a place called the Wet Wick. Leander plucks the iridescent bouquet out of the air and turns in a slow circle, giving his audience a good look. Now who could use some good luck? Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table. Some reach for the lilies, while others whistle and call Leander's name. But his cool green eyes light right over them, locking on me instead. How about you? My chest tightens. Every person gathered turns to stare at me. If I were to lay low, I would do something that the crowd expects, right? Right. So I'll take it. I reach out, all too aware of the way my fingers tremble as I carefully take the flowers from him. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the flowers leave Leander's hand, their light dims. They fade away in a shower of opalescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right? He grins at me, and I find myself smiling back. Hi, sir! Oh my god, hi! Hi! Leander steps off the table, dropping among the excited crowd with an audible clink. Alright, bloodhounds, get back to your drinks. Show's over. The green cloaks disperse at his command, returning to their tables and booths. Before I can make my way towards Leander, his eyes find me. He gives me a friendly wave, then beckons me over to the crowded counter. I manage to squeeze beside him, but there's so little room that his broad shoulder presses against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Is this your first time in Iridia? He says it lightly, with a genuine air of curiosity. Do I stick out that much? No, but I'm certain I'd remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown. My eyes flicker to a polished countertop. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. What can I get you? Surprise me and add anything my friend wants to my tab. I wasn't expecting the generosity, but I have to admit, I do feel a little thirsty after all that fried dough. I'll have what he's having. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbows on the counter. I'm close enough to notice the purple shadows under his lower lids. Oh, he's just like me. I don't sleep. His eyes wander over me in return, but when they lock on my bandaged hands, a sour taste rises in my throat. Here comes the questions. So, what brings you to the Wick? Curious sent me. Oh, he doesn't like that. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, but Ooh, wow, I can't read again. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, but it immediately falls right back into place. So it's about work. The bartender returns with a pair of glasses filled with what I can only assume is beer. I raise my glass and give it an experimental sniff. It smells faintly yeasty, but with an undercurrent I can't quite place. A quick sip confirms my worst suspicions. It's awful, somehow briny and sour in a way that reminds me of pickles. But any thought of complaining dies at the moment I look up and see Leander taking a deep swig from his glass. He lets out a satisfied breath. How can I be of assistance? I need to get to the cenobium. Oh. As soon as the word cenobium leaves my mouth, the entire bar falls silent. Bloodhounds twist around in their seats and to gawk openly. Finally, an especially drunk one speaks up. The hell are you bringing up the cenobium around? Oh my god, I can't read. The hell are you bringing up the cenobium in here? Throw him out. This is Bloodhound's territory. The vitriol catches me off guard. From the angry looks thrown my way, it's clear I've broken some unspoken rule just by mentioning the cenobium. When I glance at Leander, he's drinking as though he hasn't noticed the uproar. Only when he catches me looking does he lower his glass. For the love of... He drags a hand down his face. Hey, keep it down, will you? This is business. I tense, expecting an argument, but the outspoken bloodhounds silently return to their drinks. Only a handful continue to watch me warily. Sorry about them. The cenobium's a bit of a touchy subject in these parts. Mix in enough drinks and, well, you saw. How about we continue this outside? When I give him a terse nod, he pushes away from the bar counter. He reminds me of Risley from Genshin Impact. Maybe it's because of, the fit and, the hair and the biddies, but, I love him. I follow Leander to oh my god, I can't read. I follow Leander to an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick where layers of frayed bloodhounds posters have been plastered to the walls, sorry. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his likeness on the posters is impressive. Curious didn't send you here for help with the cenobium, did he? From the look he gives me, he already knows the answer. I glance away. No, he didn't. He suggested I find an alternative. Yet here you are, asking about them anyway. What do you need the synovium for? I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Well, I see you're already aware of the city's currency. Information's worth its weight in gold here. Curious told you the truth. The synovium's dangerous. Get on their bad side and they'll imprison you if you're lucky, or torture you if you're not. But the synovium's supposed to be a place of learning, of a sanctuary. The synovium has always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in a world steeped in nightmares. If any place held answers, it would be the synovium. That's why I came here. That's what they want you to think, but things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. If it's true, if I stakes everything on a lie, then what now? Leander clears his throat. But as I always say, there's solutions to every problem and alternatives to every solution. He claps his hands and turns to me with a brilliant smile. That's why Curious pointed you to the Bloodhounds. Let us help you, whether it's hunting soulless, finding people, or recovering stolen valuables. We can do it all, and free of charge. I'm shaking my head before he's even finished his practice speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. Maybe we shouldn't be impatient here. MC, calm. Breathe a second. Breathe. Listen, I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my chagrin, Leander nods slowly. Then your problem must be fairly serious, and if the synovium's your first choice, you're searching for a magical solution, aren't you? When my eyes widen, he nods along, as though he suspected all along. I'd be happy to help you out, that is, if you tell me what ails you. Leander might not work for the synovium, but he is a mage, and a powerful one at that, if his demonstration earlier is any indication. I'm silent, plagued by indecision. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this could be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a pained whisper. I'm cursed. Cursed? Oh, now I'm very curious. What kind of curse? Something ancestral or more recent? He looks me up and down, taking in my face, my eyes, and finally my hands. It's your hands, isn't it? I wait until I'm certain my voice will remain steady before answering. My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I've even finished, Leander begins taking his gloves off. He tugs his left hand free and flexes his fingers. Let's see it. He offers me his hand, and a prismatic flash of light ripples across his palm, but I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is. I can't bring myself to hurt him. To see his kind face twist into a... Oh my god. To see his kind face twist into a mask of madness. Believe me, this isn't an ordinary curse. I'll be fine. Perhaps where you came from, your affliction was strange and one of a kind. But spend a year in the city, and you'll see 1,000 curses and thrice as many cures. Do you really think Curious would send you here if I couldn't handle it? How should I know? I only met him today. I'm as good as any mage in the synovium, better even. If they can help, so can I. You don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. I look from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. Then, with a short breath, I begin unwinding my bandages from my hand. Fine. But if you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You can sign me up first if it makes you feel better. With each joint I expose, I grow more and more certain that this is a terrible idea. Ready when you are. If he's bothered by the way my hand looks, he doesn't show it. My fingers hover shakily over his palm. 3, 2, 1. Touch. Touch time. I tap his palm once, as quickly as possible. It's barely more than a brush, but that's all it ever takes. When I look at his face, expecting to see the worst, Leander only grins. See? It can't be. This time, when I reach out to touch Leander's palm again, he catches my wrist before I can pull away. I told you, there's really nothing to worry about. I see a blush. Hi, sir. Hi, sir, why are you blushing? He trails off when my thumb brushes against the soft skin of his inner wrist. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remain a clear, soft green. He's so pretty. Color rises in his cheeks, but he remains still except for the subtle bobbing of his throat. Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of Leander's palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't prepared for. I've been with other people, kissed them, been embraced by them, and more, but not like this. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, pick up every single detail, the grooves of his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, the pulse of his heart. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand, not without dire consequences. I've never realized what I was missing until this moment. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine is hammering as fear gives way to excitement. I feel weird about this. Let's keep touching him. Yeah. My hand glides over Leander's wrist and up his forearm where smooth skin abruptly gives way to the raised scar by the edge of his sleeve. It matches the one that runs from his collar to cheekbone. Could it be the same wound? I glance at Leander's face and his lips part as he considers his words before speaking. Am I the first person you've been able to touch like this? My hand goes still on his arm. So far. I'll admit, your touch does make it somewhat difficult to stay level-headed, but not due to your power. Okay, hi sir. He takes my hand, his soft green eyes flick to mine before he turns it to inspect the golden fissures crisscrossing my knuckles. Look, we match. He points out a golden pin on his coat collar, and I give him a small smile. I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My head feels as though it's stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. May I ask your name? I'm Elena. You were right to hide this from me, Elena. That curse of yours, it's unlike anything I've ever dealt with. I can tell you're discreet, but you'd best not go showing that off to anyone else. I didn't plan on it. Are you staying in Lowtown? I pause, ruined bored with something I hadn't yet considered. I don't know. Let's get you properly settled then. The wet wake is noticeably quieter. Without their leader, most of the bloodhounds have dispersed, or in few cases, fallen asleep beside their drinks. Got any rooms left, or did my lot grab them all to sleep it off? The bartender, who I now realize doubles as an innkeeper, slides a key onto the counter. You know I always keep the corner room open for your escapades. Leander's laugh sounds slightly strained. And I always appreciate it, but you're mistaken. This is just for my friend Elena. Sure. Stay as long as you like. You two have fun. Escapades, huh? Leander clears his throat, then holds the key out to me. But I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for a day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing. Bloodhound rates. My treat, since you shared your secret. Food, drink, a warm bed. Anything you need. Carefully. I take the key from him. It's small but weighs heavy in my palm. I never expected to have a warm bed in Iridia, let alone free meals. Thank you. Go explore, Elena. You may find many roads in Iridia, each leading to different answers. But if you need a reprieve from what haunts you, come find me. Just be careful. I nod, taking one last look at the gleaming bronze key before tucking it into the pocket of my cloak for safekeeping. Leander gives me one last friendly wave before I depart. But the air clings, sodden and heavy. Without the morning crowd, the sunless streets look barren and bleak. Even the peddlers are long gone. Only a pair of crows remain cuddling over stale crusts in a gutter. I feel a ridiculous pang of envy. At least they've got a reason to fight. I've never felt so lost. Curious and Leander both make it clear that the Cenobium can't be trusted, but I came so far, endured so much. I need to see the Cenobium for myself, if only to satisfy my curiosity. I should have asked someone at the bar for directions before leaving. Okay, look, that's a stupid statement. Do I not remember how they treated me as soon as I said the word Cenobium? What the frick? What the flip? I'm about to turn back when a shadow passes over me. A cloud, I think, until a puff of hot breath tickles the back of my neck. Hello? Oh, hell no. Hi, I don't like that noise in my ear. Please stop that. The shadow runs down the street in rivulets. Formless dark spreads like ink into blotted shapes. Claws stretch. A muzzle slits open to reveal long, jagged teeth. A growl rumbles so low and deep I feel it. I want to run, to scream, but I feel trapped, as the slightest movement or a single breath will snap the jaws around me shut. No, I won't let it end like this. If I'm going to die, I want to see what got me first. I steel myself, then turn. It's a person. Right? Unless I'm tripping. The shadow vanishes as quickly as it came. I'm left standing in the middle of the street, alone except for a figure reclining in the shade of a nearby stoop. Oh, hi. Oh, he's pretty. Oh, he's so pretty. Ooh, a monster. A pretty one. That much is clear from a glance. One that can nearly be mistaken for a human were it not for the tufted ears and the curl around his ankle. The tail curled around his ankle. Oh my god, I can't read. Or the dusk pink eyes with pupils that sharpen like needles when they fall on me. Our eyes meet and the monster uncrosses his long legs. Important. Oh my god. His hair gleams a shade of red that reminds me of unsettlingly. Oh, I still can't read. His hair gleams a shade of red that reminds me unsettlingly of blood where it curls around his collared throat. Jumpy, aren't you? His tone is so light and carefree that I glance over my shoulder to make sure he's speaking to me. When I look back, the stranger props his chin on his knuckles and regards me with an inscrutable little smile. Didn't you see that shadow just now? It was massive, moved like a beast. Even as I speak, I'm aware of how ridiculous I must sound, but the stranger's smile doesn't falter. The only beasts I've seen are the wicks drooling regulars, though this did catch my eye. Did he really just steal my key? With a flourish of his hand, my in-room key appears dangling from his fingers. It turns on its chain, glittering when it catches light. My hands fly to my cloak's pockets and, sure enough, find them flat. He crooks his finger, beckoning. I've already taken 2 steps forward before some stifled instinct stops me. Something feels so wrong. I'm still on the edge, strumming with so much adrenaline that the stranger's shadow flickers at the edges of my vision. I always attract the worst kind of attention, but I can't get rattled now. Where did you find it? How do you even find it? The key, I mean. What can I say? I'm a sucker for shiny things. He smiles wide enough to reveal pointed canines. I saw you drop it. You really should be more careful. City like this, somebody might take advantage. A bald-faced lie was said without a hint of irony. I can't figure out how he picked my pockets under my nose, but I'm certain he took my key, and I need it back. I approach the man, careful to keep an arm's length away. He doesn't look dangerous, but the most deadly ones never do. Oh, he's pretty. The stranger's chain softly clinks with the tilt of his head. His ears flick. Keeping your distance? I'd be stupid to trust you. You think I stole your dinky little key from all the way over here? He gives an exaggerated sigh. I'm good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you? He's got me there. The sheer the sheer fabric of his sleeves alone would be too expensive for most street thieves. Hell, his shoes look like they cost more than I spent traveling here. And then there's the shop behind him. No matter the city, parted pink curtains only ever mean one thing. I'm not looking to buy, and I doubt I could afford your services anyway. Oh, luckily for you, I don't charge. Oh, that's crazy. The man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang, and for the first time since I stepped into that shadow, I feel something other than dread. My face grows hot. That's not what I meant. I'm flattered, really. Were sex my trade, I might make an exception for you. How about half off for a handy... Or you could just hand over my key. Ask nicely, and I might even let you tug my tail. Ooh, just throw it here. So some spindly little street oh my god, I can't read. So some spindly little street urchin can snatch it and run? He raises my key and tilts his head so he can watch it dangle back and forth. I suppose I could just claim your room for myself. Not that I'd be caught dead slumming in the wick with the rest of those slack-jawed imbeciles. You're obviously not from around here, so tell me, traveler, what misfortune brought you to this wretched place? His voice practically drips with derision. I'm not telling you anything. What could have possibly drawn you to this dreary little pig pen, I wonder? He listlessly watches the arc of my keys swinging around his fingers. The weather's been shit. The weather's shit, the food's dreck, and there's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless... Dagger-sharp eyes flick towards me. They gleam with amusement. Unless you're just Unless you're just dying to consort with monsters. Are you calling me a monster fucker? Wait. Is he calling me a monster fucker? I'm upset. By now, my embarrassment has worn away, leaving simmering impatience in its place. If this is a shakedown, it's the most frustrating one I've ever heard of. Good lord, what am I watching? That's a good question. Honestly, this is the most questionable part you could have come in on, but it makes sense that you came in at this moment. Don't forget to follow, like you did my freaking YouTube channel, Izuna. If this is shakedown, it's the most frustrating one I've ever heard of. Hey chat, do I flirt back or do I turn him down? What even? My brain is still... What is this? Bomb him. Okay, turn him down. Are you done, or did you plan on flirting with me until night falls? He touches his chest in mock affront. You wound me. How can you be so immune to my charms? You're about as charming as an ox and half as oh my god. You're about as charming as an ox and half as subtle. I suggest you go practice your seduction on someone interested. That earns me a burst of breathy laughter. How about you teach me the ropes? Show me a thing or two. The more he flirts, the more convinced I become that this is some kind of trap. No matter how innocent monsters look, they always have tricks up their sleeves. And something tells me that this one's more dangerous than he lets on, even if he has a lovely laugh. I don't know what you want, or why you're messing with me, but I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack. Or bite. I won't bite hard unless you beg me. Sir? Sir, pause. Wait, pause. Pause. Okay, if this guy looks innocent. I don't think he looks innocent either. Like, you guys can you guys see my freaking mouse? Oh, yeah, you can. The chains? The belts? The collar? Hello, sir? Hi. Anyway, oh, did I even read that out loud? No matter what I say, he finds a way to twist my words into innuendo. Yes, I know it's Lynn. Yes, hi. Even when I'm silent, he goes on as though we're having a conversation, not a standoff. Do you like dancing? There is a traveling troupe performing in Hightown tonight. Their ludus is utterly exquisite. Truly a performance to die for. There's life in this dreadful place if you know where to look. Wow, hold on. Water. You sound like you know the city well. The man's gaze flickers from me to the key dangling from his finger. Naturally, this dump was a little more than oh my god, I can't read. This dump was a little more than a miserable little smear when I first arrived. High town, low town. I know Iridia like the back of my hand. How about the Cenobium? Do you know where that is? Oh, he's also pissed. No one likes the Cenobium. I should take a hint. His smile vanishes. Surely you've seen it. That absurdly large tower looming over the rest? It's a little hard to miss. He must mean that spire I noticed when I first caught sight of Iridia. The Cenobium's overrated. Forget about it. I can show you things those stuffy boars in their limp dick tower couldn't even dream of. This dude's funny. I like him. I've already got plans. Oh? Have you some pressing matters at the Cenobium? Lunch dates with librarians, tea time with the most esteemed abbess? Abbess? That's my business. What's the matter to you? I square my shoulders and amusement bleeds out of him. Your loss. The stranger, finally bored of his tedious game, extends his hand towards me. The key rests on his palm, neatly dividing skin and leather. When he makes no other move, I reach for the key, but as soon as my fingers graze smooth brass, his hand springs shut around my elbow. Excuse me, sir. I didn't consent to that. Hey. Hi. He yanks me down and I stagger, my soul slipping on the steps. For a sick moment, I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch, but he's careful not to disturb them even as his fingers dig into my arm. I knew I smelled blood. You reek of death and the road. And that fucking doctor. Oh! Okay, so he doesn't like Chris. Cool. His voice, once silken, lowers to a smoky growl. The shadows around him seethe and boil as he pulls me closer. And something else. He murmurs again around my throat, nose grazing up my jaw. Let go! I try to twist away, but he doesn't budge. His breath trails down my neck, sending a thrill of dread through me. But just when I fear he'll bite, he takes a deep whiff instead. His wide, flat eyes gleam with naked hunger as he gazes up at me. Not quite human, not quite monster. Seems we're both. Veer sounds better, I think. I might just be wrong. The stranger's ears flatten, and he releases me with a short breath. I yank my arm back, massaging it where its grip left grooves in the bandages. The stranger twists around to watch a woman duck out from the curtains behind him. Her pressed uniform marks her as the cleric of the Cenobium. I leave you for all of what? 10 minutes and you're making trouble again. Will you quit harassing the tourists? The stranger, Veer, I take it, rolls his eyes and flashes the cleric a withering smile. So suspicious. Can't you see this is a friend of mine? A natural liar. He grins at me and his tail swishes minutely. The woman purses her lips at me, clearly unconvinced. I open my mouth to correct him, but Veer cuts in. I was graciously offering my dear friend some free advice. Though his voice remains light and cheerful, his expression darkens. Danger's drawn to you like a moth to flame. It will always find you, given time. The woman clucks her tongue as though she's heard this recital 102 times. Word of advice? Don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging in the streets. This crook would sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of This crick would sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of it. She shrugs off a wilting look from Veer. Oh, please, any friend of yours knows it's true. Now hold still. Veer rises gracefully at her approach. He pushes his hair aside so it drapes over one shoulder, exposing the long line of his neck. And suddenly, it dawns on me that the jingling I heard earlier wasn't coming from the harness attached to his collar, but a leash. That's not a good sign. I think he's a slave. Interesting. A heavy iron chain wound around a hitching post and padlocked to the back of his collar. Veer posed deliberately to hide his leash from me. Oh, I don't like this. The woman produces a key ring from her pocket. She rifles through a dozen identical keys before selecting one and slotting it into the lock. Come on, unless your friend's tagging along on our merry little soulless hunt. They're hunting for soulless inside the city? Words momentarily fail me. The woman regards me with a polite, if tight, smile before marching down the stairs. Veer lingers. He stretches his arm over his head with a yawn, and I try not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back. Oh, stop. Pause. Tee-hee. Your little secret's safe with me. Try not to get yourself killed, Veer hops off the stoop and bounds after the woman. His tail sways merrily, as though he hadn't just lied and threatened me. Did you try that thing I mentioned? The Loventian knot? That one where you take 3 fingers and... Actually, don't tell me. Knowing you, it's disgusting. Veer's airy laughter echoes down the street. It's only after he and the cleric have vanished from sight that I realize I'm still missing something. Wait. Reflexively, I shove my hands into my pockets and find it. The room key. I pull it out of my pocket and raise it to the light just to be sure. A nagging feeling distracts me from my relief. I don't know what Veer's game was or what he wanted from me. All I know for certain is that the Cenobium saw fit to leash him, a fate I could share if that's what his vague warning meant. I let my eyes drift skyward, past the lanterns gently swaying in the breeze to the Cenobium faintly visible through the haze. Just one glimpse is all I need, then I can put this all behind me. This time, the keys goes into my coin purse. Coin purse? Coin purse for safekeeping. It's easy enough to follow the sluggish river that splits Iridia in two. A colossal bridge arches over the dark water below. I cross as quickly as I can, climbing ever uphill toward the distant tower. Chat, what are we thinking? Chat, how are you feeling? Hours later, legs arching? Legs aching, sweat bend. Oh, I can't read. Hours later, legs arch. Oh my god. Holy shit. Hold on. Hours later, legs aching, sweat beading on my forehead. I finally find what I was searching for. The Cenobium of the luminous void. And I still went. Okay, interesting. It stands at the highest point of Iridia, surrounded by cold white walls. Well-dressed people stroll down the walkways, paying no attention. Hello? Thank you for the follow. Hi. Follower goal met. Thank you. Oh, it's you, Lynn. Yay! Guys, we did it. 30 followers. Let's go. Okay, I think the next one I'm gonna do is 50. Yeah? Or actually I'll just go by 10s. I think 10 is good. Do I really have to reset? Hold on. Let me fix that. And are we good? Yippee! Oh. Paying no attention to the massive tower in their midst. I'm the only one standing before the gates. I crane my neck up and up until the top of the Cenobium tower disappears into clouds overhead. My stomach gives an uneasy lurch. Though far grander than the humble shrine of my youth, the Cenobium gives the same impression of being a gilded bird cage. Knocking seems like a terrible idea, but I don't see any other way of making my presence known. I'm halfway up the steps when something moves in my peripheral vision. Excuse me, hi. Hi, pretty person. A shadowy figure crouches beneath one of the white walls. They reach out and tug on a vine as if testing its strength. Oi, you there! The shadow vanishes as quickly as I spotted it, and a gaunt-faced man in a crisp charcoal uniform marches up the steps toward me. Ugh, another tourist. Get out of here once you're done gawking. A dismissive wave accompanies his equally dismissive words, and he turns on his heel without even waiting for an answer from me. I look back at where I saw the intruder, but there's nothing, just the leaves blowing gently in a cool breeze. Ooh, wait. Okay. I step away from the gates, hopelessness washing over me. You remember this time? Cool. Thank you. Hello. Or hello. A whisper, so close I can feel the warm brush of my... Oh my god. A whisper, so close I can feel the warm brush of breath on my skin. I instinctively jerk away, but there's no one beside me. Halfway down the staircase, I spot a woman swaying in the breeze. She's gaunt as a rail, her blouse moth-eaten. I'm unable to take my eyes off her, not because of the way she smiles a little too widely, or the way her tousled braids look unbrushed for days, but because her eyes shine a vibrant, unnatural crimson. I'm both entranced and unsettled by their subtle glow. Red-eyed woman. Ooh. These days, you'd need a miracle to get in there. I'm unsure how to respond, or even if I even should. Her gaze is uncomfortably fixed on me, heavy as lead. I don't like responding. After the experience I've just had, I'm not too keen on it. Ooh, maybe I should save. I feel like I'm gonna get jumped. After the experience I've just had, I'm not too keen on indulging strangers with small talk. Despite my silence, she maintains her unflinching stare and smile. That's not creepy. Lucky for you, I have miracles for free. Whatever she's telling, I'm not interested. My words come out in a tired breath. No thanks. I start down the stairs, but she abruptly steps into my path. She turns her back to me, and before I can react, she slips her fingers under the lacing of her collar, stripping out of her blouse what the hell? Stripping out of her blouse into broad daylight. What are you As worn fabric unveils pale bare skin, my panic smothered by cold horror. A misshapen, sunken scar carves into the woman's body. Pitted, gnarled skin snakes down her shoulders, blooming from a gaping hole in the back of her neck. Oh my god. Shuddering breath escapes me. The fuck? Whatever disease this woman had ate away at her from the inside out. How is she able to move or breathe? It's impossible. She shouldn't be alive, and yet the power to cure anything can be yours too. The power of the sea spring. Sea spring? Interesting. The woman slides back into her blouse and deftly laces it up. If I've caught your interest, then follow me. It's only a short walk away. Chat, what are we thinking? Chat, are we thinking? Period? Hello, chat? Chat, I'm getting creeped out by this woman. Without another glance, she leisurely strolls down the cenobium stairs. Loose braids bobbing behind her, the edge of her scarf peeks out from under her collar. I stand there, wordless, until I manage to regain my bearings. It's a twisted miracle, but a miracle nonetheless. This could be the stupidest decision in my life, but what choice do I have? I take a final look at the cenobium's shut gates, then follow her down the steps. We descend from the higher streets, leaving behind their gilded decadence as we cross the river. The wet, derelict districts feel more familiar to me. But the crimson-eyed woman takes me farther, then farther still, until I'm met with an all too familiar sight. Oh, hell no. My gut lurches when I face the open horizon. The city's outskirts are hardly recognizable in daylight, and probably safer for it, but venturing beyond Iridia's walls is a gamble I wasn't prepared to take so soon. Keep going straight, and the sea spring will reveal itself to you. I bark out a bitter laugh, loud and involuntary. I'd rather not. Are you kidding? It's not safe out there. You're as safe inside the city as outside of it. Truthfully, the territory before you is the safest of all. What do you mean, territory? This region belongs to Ice. Most people know him as a gang leader, but he's much more than that. I went against the empty wastelands. Only a fool or someone with nothing to lose would leave the city. Apparently I'm both. But if this sea spring cured her, I need to see what it can do for me. God damn, I'm stupid. Holy shit. I set off into the waste. Over my shoulder, this woman calls after me. Good luck, Elena. I hope we meet. How do you know my name? How do you know my name? What the hell? My heart pounds with each step I take from civilization. I'm not even going to question it. Okay. It doesn't take me long to realize it's not the only heartbeat I hear. Like a nagging thought at the back of my mind, I can sense another pulse, thrumming through the earth beneath my feet. I felt this presence before, when I first stepped out of Cress's clinic. A living drug coursing underneath the city. Only this time, I'm getting closer to it. For what seems like an eternity, I force each foot forward, one step, then another, until a realization hits me. I never told the woman my name. Oh, now I remember it. After 10 minutes? What the hell? Something pierces the horizon ahead of me. A building, nestled into a tall cliffside. Ooh, I didn't read that right. A building, nestled into a tall cliffside. Ooh. But so starkly out of place it might as well be a hallucination. It drips with extravagance and honeyed mahogany, an ornate jewel of architecture. A row of dark silhouettes stand out on the horizon, trees, I think, until I'm close enough to realize that what I mistook for branches were spikes and jutting tendrils. Soulless. Several of them watching me in the distance like statues. I don't think I just run. Exploding into a messy sprint, I push my legs as fast as they'll take me towards that decorated building. Flashes of last night chase me, the gushes of blood and screams of death, the smell of burning flesh and sour bile. I can't go through that again. I won't. The next thing I know, I'm dashing up wooden stairs and crashing through towering double doors. I gasp for air, my lungs burning from exertion. I'm desperate to be safe, but when I process my surroundings, it's more hellscape than sanctuary. Oh, hell no. What the hell? Blood flows all around me, overwhelming my vision with a lurid, unholy red. Instinctively, my hand leaps to my mouth. But the raw stench of blood never comes. Instead, a smoky scent hangs in the air, sharp and spiced. I swallow thickly, convincing myself that it's not as gruesome as it appears. This has to be the sea spring, the place that grants miracles. Pulling my eyes away from the pool, I take in the rest of my environment. Tall pillars flank me, blanketed in written notes. Seating pillows scatter the floor. A rustic kettle sits nearby. Someone must live here, despite how eerily empty it is. Hello? Like a freaking horror movie. Stay silent. I approach the paper-covered pillars. Maybe something here can tell me more. I reach for... Let's do the closest one. I reach for a note in front of me. It reads, Dear Mother, don't cry for me. I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye, but we'll meet again in another life. I love you very much. From Iris. P.S. If you ever see me, never speak to me again. It's written in perfect cursive. I've never seen such beautiful handwriting. Before I can ponder it further, a sharp chill runs down my spine. Something's watching me. I quickly set the note back, my eyes darting toward the wooden deck, but it's still empty. Vacant. Finally, I look toward the sea spring. The stillness hides something deeper. Something wrong. Something familiar. It's watching me. Hey. I spin around and come face to face with a pack of soulless. They chitter and growl, tendrils and spikes flaring threateningly, all different sizes and species but sharing one identical trait, glowing crimson eyes. I try to back away, but my heel teeters over the sea spring. I'm cornered. Watch your step. It's deeper than it looks. That voice again. At the sound of it, the soulless freeze, their snarls quieting. Oh! Hi! I search for the voice's source and find it above me, lounging in the rafters. Oh, hi, sir. Oh. I'm unwell. Hold on. You look a little lost. You look lost, little sparrow. His gaze is a violent crimson, one that sears through me, leaves me feeling raw and exposed. There are the same eyes I've seen over and over, first with the scarred woman, now with the soulless circling me, all bound by the sea spring's blood red. In the shroud of darkness, why are there tentacles? Why? In the shroud of darkness behind him, shapes like massive tentacles twist and coil around the wooden beams. I can't focus. The soulless growls ring in my ears. They're not advancing, but that could change at any second. Panic rises in my throat as I struggle to track them. Hey! Eyes on me. My stomach rolls as I tear my eyes away from the soulless. Don't ignore someone who's talking to you. It's not polite. For a moment, anger knocks my fears aside. Who is this bastard? Good heavens, so true. I'm distracted. Fuck you. I want to say fuck you because I think it would be funny. I'm distracted. I'm kind of distracted by Soulless about to maul me. Only on my command. I scan the Soulless again. They really aren't attacking, posturing more than anything else. You tamed them? Power of the sea spring. They're hungry, so they might bite. You could give me a reason to stop them. How about I didn't do anything wrong? Trespassing. And that's punishable by death? It gives a non-committal shrug. Expecting mercy was your first mistake. My voice stops in my throat. This man's terse coolness is both infuriating and terrifying. I rack my brain for a way to diffuse the situation. Tell me what you want. I'm not in the mood for guessing games. Your hands. Alarm jolts through me. I hide my hands under my cloak. Show me. He's just bastard, that's funny. Why? Won't ask twice. With a sharp huff, I reluctantly hold out my bandaged hands. Are you getting off on this? Unwrap them. Heat rushes to my face and fire to my tongue. I should give him a piece of my mind, but not when his souls are one command from ripping me to shreds. No matter how much I will myself to move, my body is frozen in place. I stand there for a long, agonizing minute. My hands are trembling when I finally raise them. I know the skin beneath the wrappings all too well, the hideous, unnatural flesh I've grown to despise. I grip the edge of the bandages. Stop. Me? With a weary sigh, the man slides off the beam and lands with a thud that shakes the panels underfoot. He's a monster, with an imposing figure that towers over me. I couldn't tell how tall he was before, but he's big. Illuminated by lantern light, his features are stronger, sharper. Subtle clinks of metal accompany each of his footsteps. The closer he gets to me, the faster my heart hitches. What does he want? Is he going to kill me? I step backwards and find nothing to set my foot on. I'd forgotten my back was to the sea spring. I fall, right before a hand catches my... right before a warm hand catches my lower back. I'm hovering above the sea spring, the scent of smoke and leather enveloping me. Blazing crimson eyes bore into mine. Told you to watch your step. I'm too stunned to muster a response. There we go. Jesus Christ. Like I weigh nothing, he guides me back to solid ground and steps back. Following a subtle gesture from his fingers, the souls around us disperse and relax. The shift in their demeanor is so abrupt it gives me whiplash. The enormous tentacles are no longer in the rafters, though now I doubt I ever saw them at all. Either way, I exhale a breath of relief. Thanks. As focused on me as he was before, the monster pays no attention to me now. He kicks some seating pillows out of the walkways, checks the contents of the kettle with a scowl. The sudden disregard is almost insulting. So that's it? I'm not a threat anymore? Never were one. Then why do you threaten me? People get honest when they're afraid. In other words, he was messing with me. I drag a hand over my face, exhausted by the fact that this is the second time a monster has provoked me today. You're ice, aren't you? Depends on who's asking. One of your friends told me this was your territory. She also said you were a gang leader. Sorry, I'm opening some snackies. But there's no one else here. I thought there'd be more people. Ice picks up this kettle and walks to the edge of the sea spring, then dumps out the contents into the endless red. Gang took a walk. His pleasant smile stretches across his face, ear to ear. Then in an instant it drops. I get the sense that I shouldn't ask about his gang again. What do you need the sea spring's power for? Depends. Can it cure a curse? Probably. You mean you don't know? Nope. He shakes out the empty kettle and starts collecting stray cups. Tidying up. My frustration builds. I narrow my eyes at him in a questioning glare. When he notices, he returns it with an amused smirk. Are you being irritating on purpose? Listen, Sparrow. The sea spring can cure anything. Nothing stopping you from trying it yourself. What do I have to do? Drink. I have to drink from the sea spring? My eyes glide to the blood-like pool beside us. The idea of ingesting the strange liquid makes my guts churn. Is there a price? Always. Ice taps his temple with a finger. You lose it a little bit. That's it? Might have already beat it to the punch. My humor earns me an amused fanged grin. This is a little different. When you drink from the sea spring, you forget who you are. Your mind combines with everyone who ever drank it before. Humans, monsters, soulless. One big happy family in your head. My blood runs cold. I've heard of these before. Group minds. My attendants used to tell me that my power granted people access to a higher plane of understanding. A group mind of my own making. All lies. But something tells me that this is real, even if one thing doesn't add up. Your eyes are red too, but you obviously haven't forgotten who you are. Before I can finish my sentence, it's past me toward the entrance. Time's up. Let's finish this later. Wait, already? You barely told me anything. Came on a bad day. I've got somewhere to be. There are still so many questions burning on the tip of my tongue, but my frustration spills out before any of them. I was told to come here for help, but instead I get threatened and kicked out. You're joking, right? Watch your tone. I'm nice, but you don't want to ruin the host's mood. My skin prickles. The feeling of being watched washes over me again. My eyes dart back over to the sea spring. A lone ripple dances on the quiet surface. I take Ice's advice and clamp my mouth shut. Ice approaches the nearby soulless, a lanky, dog-like one with 6 legs and a crown of tendrils. Several sets of crimson eyes adorn its sides. Its forked tail wags rapidly when Ice squats beside it. He runs his fingers through the tendrils, scratches its chin, and pats its head. A gentle smile plays across Ice's lips. The affection he holds for the soulless is painfully clear. I dip my eyes away, my stomach fluttering at the tender sight. It's getting dark out, so this pretty girl will guide you back. Following a short whistle from Ice's lips, it trots over to the entrance obediently, tail swaying. I watch the soulless warily. Pretty is not a word I would use to describe it, and the idea of it protecting me sounds absurd. If I decide to drink, how should I find you? Find someone with eyes like mine. They'll point you in the right direction. Sorry, I'm eating Nerds Clusters. Hold on. But think it over. Once you drink, you can't go back. It's a lot to process, but I give a small nod. At least I know I have another option for a cure, as disturbing as it may be. I follow the soulless at a measured distance and watch it nudge the giant doors open with ease. When I'm about to cross the threshold, I sneak one last glance behind me. My heart skips when I meet Ice's eyes. I'm about to snap my head away, but he just flashes me an easy smile. Oh, he's so pretty. Oh my god. Till next time, Sparrow. I'll buy you a drink for scaring you. I don't trust myself to do anything but respond with another curt nod. Chat, how are you feeling? Chat, I'm a little flustered. Outside, more crimson-eyed soulless scuttle about. It's hard to believe it's the same threatening pack from before. They chase each other in circles, roll around into the bog's mud. They pay no attention to me as the dog-like one escorts me away. It's an uneventful trip. Sometimes the soulless looks over its shoulder at me to make sure I'm still following. Dusk darkens the sky by the time we reach the city. I can't sense that massive heartbeat anymore. Maybe it was all in my head. The soulless sits and looks at me expectantly with familiar crimson eyes. Pet the dog. As nervous as I am, I carefully glide my fingers through the soulless's tendrils and scratch beneath its chin, just like Ice had. It pushes into my it's a dog. It pushes into my palm in response, rumbling with a sound akin to a purr. The vibrations are soothing, almost healing my fatigue. When it's satisfied, the soulless spins around and scampers back in the direction we came, vanishing into the darkness. It's barely my first day in Iridia, and I've already encountered so many things I thought were impossible, tamed soulless being one of them. My head spins. Maybe I should call it a day. Nightfall creeps over the streets of Iridia. The city, labyrinthine, even in daytime, has become a warren of treacherous alleyways. The streets are completely deserted. If I hadn't been here earlier, I would have thought this part of the city abandoned. I make my way through the winding streets, doing my best to keep my bearings towards the wet wig. Hello? My steps slow when I hear rustling in the dark. I strain my ears, but everything is still. Is the silence playing tricks on me? Something's wrong. The fine hairs on the back of my neck prickle, a frisson of discomfort running down my spine. Something's wrong. My eyes dart from one side of the street to the other, searching for movement, but the shadows are as deep and dark as pools of ink, and I see nothing. I can't stay here. I need to reach a busier part of the city. Drawing my cloak tighter around my body, I hurry on my way. Though I keep my eyes sharp and listen intently, there's only sound of my own footsteps. As the moments pass and nothing happens, I begin to wonder, maybe I really did imagine that noise? I turn the next corner and my thoughts come screaming to a halt. My head spins, the world blurring as adrenaline rushes through my veins. Only one thing is clear amidst the haze. Oh, hell no. The soulless that attacked the caravan. It crouched over a dark, indistinct shape. A body. A garland of intestines spill from pallid flesh. Blood crouts the cobblestones. For a mercy, the soulless is too distracted by its meal to have noticed me. My feet feel as heavy as stones, but I can't just stand here. Holding my breath, I take a step backwards. When the wet slurping sounds don't abate, I take another, then a shard of glass crunches under my heel. The world seems to slow to a crawl as the soulless raises its head, blood dripping from its tendrils. every single one of its bulging eyes fixed unblinkingly on me. Guys, this is weird. It's really here. It's come back for me. Yeah. Good thing this isn't, like, timed or anything, because, there is currently a Nerds cluster in my hand, which is more important than running, I think. I love candy. Run! I'm off like a shot, running for my life through the darkened streets. Oh, still too loud. Oh my god. Behind me, a piercing bass splits the silence, and heavy footfalls pound after me. My heart thunders in my chest. I take turns at random, trying to lose it in the maze of streets, but I can't seem to shake it. I can hear its breathing now, a wet, fluttering rasp, growing closer and closer. The same claws that severed my arm swipe out. I duck, saved by pure reflex, and skate around a corner. I take 3 running strides before the bottom drops out of my stomach. A wall twice as high as me bars my way. A dead end. When I turn around, the soulless looms in the entry to the alleyway. It's no longer running. It doesn't have to. As it prowls closer, my thoughts race. Some of the buildings lining the streets are lit. There must be people inside. It's a long shot, but... Chat, what do you think I should do? What should Dora do? No, I'm playing. Do I scream for help, or do I try the nearest door? I don't think anyone's gonna help me, so I'm gonna try the door. It turns completely. The hinges creaking as I push, and I feel a flash of hope before a weight hits the door from the other side and it slams shut. The click of the locks turning is grimly final. In this wretched world, few people will stick their neck out to help their own flesh and blood, never mind a stranger. The soulless gives a rasping hiss. It's the only warning I get before it lunges for me with a flash of claws. I hurl myself to the side, but the slick cobblestones betray me. I fall, sprawling over the rough stone. As the soulless looms over me, I scramble away from it until my back hits the wall. There's nowhere left for me to go. It descends on me for the kill. Am I actually gonna die here? Oh. But the impact never comes. Hello? I rarely crack one eye open, then the other, not sure whether I should believe what I'm seeing. A hooded figure crouches in front of me, one blood-stained hand outstretched. Oh, hi! Moonlight silvers the edge of their stiletto knife. Their face and hands are splattered with blood, and the soulless. My eyes dart past my unexpected rescuer to the misshapen form behind them. The soulless's many eyes, once restless and vibrant, now look dull and waxy. A red pool spreads slowly from under its body. Numb with shock, I can't help but stare. It's dead, after all the people it's killed, after nearly killing me twice. I can hardly believe it. Well? I gingerly take the offered hand. The stranger's gaze dips into my bandages, pale lips part, and on the brink of a question, then close again. With the strength belying their slight frame, they pull me to my feet. Something about them is strange, unlike any human or monster I've ever met. I can't quite place my finger on why. As soon as I'm on my own 2 feet again, they pull away from me and start wiping the blood from their face and hands. Stay there. They turn away from me stiffly, leaning over the soulless's gangly body. With their back towards me, I realized that I saw their hooded silhouette at the cenobium. Let's not mention the cenobium anymore. I don't think anyone likes that shit, okay? You saved me. I shouldn't have had to. Their harsh response takes me aback. Before I can formulate a response, they continue. What are you thinking, traveling alone at night? This is far from the worst thing haunting Lowtown. I can't make heads or tails of them. First they saved me, and now they scold me. Lesson learned. I could do without the lecture, though. To my surprise, they break eye contact. Their attention glides back to the Solis's corpse. They examine it with an inscrutable expression. I clear my throat to fill the silence. I'm Elena. Min. Suddenly, Min tenses. Their blade flashes as they drive it into the back of the Solis's neck. The Solis thrashes once, letting out a rattling hiss as the air leaves its lungs. Min leans on the blade, driving it deeper and deeper until there's a sickening crunch, and the creature goes limp. My heart thuds in my chest. It must have been clinging to life by a thread. Min straightens up, withdrawing their blade in a single smooth motion. Better to put wretched things like this out of their misery. They calmly clean the blood from their knife. I swallow, my eyes still glued to the cooling corpse. Why is a Solis inside the city? Min looks at me, eyes searching, before realization dawns. You're new here. There's no walls around the city. Solis can come and go as they please until someone is contracted to stop them. So the Cenobium's patrols don't bother to protect Lowtown. Not anymore. Let me guess, you're not a fan of the Cenobium. I wouldn't go that far. Their brow abruptly furrows, and they sheath their knife, motioning for me to follow them. It's not safe here. The vultures can smell death. I'm not quite sure what they mean, but I don't want to stay lost in this city. I trail behind them as they stride down the street. If it's so dangerous, then why are you helping me? I came for the bounty on that Solis, and you were in the way. Not killing you is the same as helping you. Don't count on being so lucky again, or you'll be dead by sunrise. Their answer is stingingly harsh. I just need to find my lodgings. I hold my hands up, trying to forestall any more snippy comments. Alright, I get it. I'd love to get out of your way, but I'm sort of lost. I just need directions back to my lodgings. What makes you think I'll help you? You've already helped me once tonight. Why not a second time? That seems to catch them off guard. Their brow knits, and they look away, scowling. How troublesome. Elena? Hi, Chris. Hi, sir. Hi, Mr. Doctor Man. His white and gold clothing is pristine, despite the grime of the city. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna mute her real quick. I'm gonna crush a bottle. Meow. I'm back. Despite the grime of the city. Hello, Min. I see that Solis was your work. Oh, I see that Solis was your work. Min shrugs. There's a familiarity to the way they regard each other. That's crazy. You know them, Chris? Min is a freelancer who has done a few errands for me. They are quite reliable. Unreliable freelancers don't eat. Elena needs to get back to wherever she's staying before she wanders into the jaw of another Solis. It is late. Were you able to find a place to stay? I'm staying at the Wet Wick. Both their faces fall. I see. Would you like a guide? It might be preferable to wandering about alleyways. That would be nice. Min clicks their tongue and sighs, sounding mightily put out. Going to the Amaryllis district, that gaudy cesspit? Come, this way. Despite Min's clear distaste, when Chris leads me down the street, they keep pace with us. Catching my curious glance, Min's eyes narrow. It's not safe this late. I don't care about you, but Chris is the only doctor worth a damn in this place. Are you like this with everyone? The deadpan look Min gives me is answer enough. I catch Chris hiding a slight smile. I suppress a sigh and resign myself to having a grumpy shadow all the way back to the Wet Wick. The route Chris takes is completely different from my slow meandering earlier in the morning. In no time at all, he cuts through the darkened streets and twisting alleys. It seems like half the city has poured into the Amaryllis district's colorful streets. Laughter, clinking glasses, and music assault my ears from every direction. Yet the most noise comes from the Wet Wick. Its doors hang wide open, lanterns lit. Here we are. He moves toward the door, and Min lets out an audible huff. Don't tell me you're going in. I have some quick business with Leander. Ugh, fine. He still owes me for yesterday's work. They drag their feet, reluctantly trailing me into the tavern. As soon as the doors open, a wave of sticky heat rolls over me. In the hours since I left, the wick has grown suffocatingly crowded. Chris stands out, easily a head taller than most. Even so, I nearly lose sight of him amid the sea of swarming bodies. Pardon me. The crowd parts as though answering his request. Chris glances over his shoulder at Min and me before gliding through. How can anyone breathe in here? Min follows Chris at a clip pace. Leander is right where I left him, although he's traded places with the bartender. He holds a pair of shot glasses filled to the brim with luminous green liquid. And now for the finishing touch. A flash of magic paints the glasses white with frost. You're never gonna guess what's in these. Leander slides the glasses across the bar, and I get my third and fourth shocks of the evening in rapid succession. Hi, Ice. Ice leans against the bar, an elbow propped up on the counter. He catches the glasses and lifts one to the light before turning it upside down. The contents, magically congealed, stay firmly in place. You're supposed to make drinks, pretty boy. Don't tell me you're wasted already. Veer, perched on the bar's counter beside Ice, takes a single look at the shot glass and shakes his head. What have we here? A bucket of boogers? A bucket full of boogers and Leander's nose treasure? You've eaten worse. Veer's lip twitch and his ears flatten when Ice offers him a glass. He turns his cheek with a sniff and Ice just snickers. Coward. Don't tell me you're actually... In one fluid motion, Ice throws back his head and downs the shot. It's a jelly shot. Drinking that. A dark look crosses Ice's face. It's chewy. Chewy? Wait, let me try again. Behind me, Min crumbles. I told you that this place was a nest of degenerates. If it isn't Chris and Min. At the sound of Leander's voice, Min's pale eyes grow wide. They look ready to bolt until Chris sets a hand on their shoulder. I promise this will not take long. Min's eyes dart from Chris's hands to his face, then soften. Fine. You first. While they step forward, I linger behind, struck by a sudden revelation. All of the people I've met today know each other. Good evening, Leander. Ice, drinking... oh my god, I can't read. Drinking... Oh my god! Another drinking competition, I presume? Oh. Is it evening already? Could have sworn it was earlier. It's just some friendly rivalry, Doctor. Nothing to be afraid of. Chris acknowledges Leander and Ice with the slightest nod, ignoring Veer entirely. Not that Veer seems to mind. He tilts his head and an impish smile curves his lips when he spots Min looming silently behind Chris. I almost didn't see you there, Min. Looking for your booster seat? Min pushes back their hood. They level Veer with a cool look. I thought Ice wasn't allowed to bring his pets in here. Veer's tail gives an angry twitch. At the first sign of an impending fight, Leander vaults clear over the counter. He slides in between Ice and Chris. Now, let's try and keep the peace. It's not every day the esteemed doctor takes us up on a drink. His arm snakes around Chris's shoulders. You are finally taking me up on that drink, right, Chris? I'm afraid not. We were merely escorting Elena back to her lodgings. Chris gestures in my direction. My stomach sinks. I reluctantly step into the light. As soon as he sees me, Leander's face brightens. Elena, it's been too long. Everyone, this is Elena. She's new to Iridia. I feel 5 pairs of eyes fix onto me, and suddenly the bar feels suffocatingly small. My voice nearly catches in my throat. We've already met. Actually, I've already met everyone. You've already met? Ice and Veer level me with subtly amused. Oh my god, hold on. Jesus. So many words, hold on. Level me with subtly amused expressions. Veer's tail gives a lazy wag. We did. Not that long ago either. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to suspect she's stalking me. He looks far too pleased with himself when I roll my eyes. This calls for drinks. What does everyone want? In an instant, all eyes turn to Leander, freeing me from the burden of attention. I still can't believe they all know each other. Watching them talk amongst themselves feels surreal. But for the first time since I undertook the journey to Iridia, I feel a faint glimmer of hope. I think, no, I know I was meant to meet them. The low, pleasant rumble of Leander's laughter pulls me from my restless thoughts. Huh. Well, color me surprised. You make friends fast, Elena. I wouldn't go that far. We're more like acquaintances? A wise man once said that acquaintances are merely friends you haven't shared a drink with yet. Oh, wise man? You said that. Here. Last week. I can hear Min's lip curl with distaste from across the bar. Leander clears his throat and continues, unperturbed. Let's toast to Elena's health. Care to join in, Doctor? Oh my god. Curious politely declines with a wave of his hand. How about you, Min? Nope. Are you? Nope. A resounding pop pierces the din of the bar. We all turn in the direction of the noise. Veer looks almost bashful as he accepts an overflowing flute from the bartender, poured from a bottle so old its label has been worn blank. They serve champagne here? Since when? Veer pauses in the middle of licking champagne foam from his fingers with a coy smile. You don't mind, do you? In a transformation as impressive as his magic trick, the concern on Leander's face vanishes. He laughs softly. No, be my guest. I know you've got expensive taste, haha. He then shoots the bartender a frantic look. Unbothered or uninterested in his company, Ice cants his head at me, a light smile on his lips. How about you, Sparrow? I did say I'd buy you a drink earlier. No, my treat. Ice regards Leander over the lip of his glass. In the dim light, the glint in his crimson eyes looks downright dangerous. What'll it be? Oh! I drink. I do be drinking. I'll take you up on that drink, as long as it's not one of those green shots. Don't knock them till you tried them. They taste better than they look. Somehow, I doubt that, but I hold my tongue long enough for Leander to go behind the bar. He's lying, isn't he? When I glance at Ice, he only shrugs. Like I said, they were chewy. Probably a poison, too. He considers his own drink a tumbler of amber-colored whiskey. Leander's tried to kill me a dozen times by now. It's always a gamble. Veer clicks his tongue in disapproval. When he finally looks my way, it's with a half-lidded gaze softened by his third glass of champagne. Were I you, I wouldn't let Leander put anything in my mouth. He fans his fingers over his chest, voice dripping with fake reverence. The Wet Wake is one of the finest drinking establishments in all of Iridia. While you're here, you might as well partake in the signature watered-down drinks and stale nut leather. He sweeps his hand toward a chipped ceramic bowl filled with spindly, speckled jerky that I can only assume is nut leather. What is with the food in the city? As abysmal as you make it sound, this place is completely packed. It's not all bad. Depending on the day, the food's edible. Ice takes a measured sip of his drink. Gotta stick around for the real attractions, though. Before I can ask what he means, Leander returns with a tumbler that he sets in front of me. Uneven chunks of ice bob in a pool of reddish-purple alcohol. I sniff the drink suspiciously, to my relief. This time, all I smell is the sharp, clean scent of gin with an undercurrent of fermented fruit. Relax, it's just a local specialty. Plum gin. Gin. Plum gin. Although, if you're feeling more adventurous... I shake my head. Leander wraps his knuckles against the bar until the group falls silent. Alright, everyone. Let's toast. May Elena's stay in Iridia be full of bright adventures and discoveries. Cheers! Leander, Ice, and Veer raise their glasses in union. Min only crosses her arms, and Curious watches with polite indifference. I tip my drink back. The plum gin is eye-wateringly strong. Despite a sharp medicinal edge, it goes down smooth. One sip softens the edges of my vision. The next fades the din of the crowded bar into a low, persistent murmur. I find myself unwinding for what feels like the first time in years. Aren't you the popular one, Elena? I'm guessing you met Chris first? It would be more accurate to say that I found her. He saved my life. I merely performed my duty as a doctor. Although I must admit that I was confused when I woke up missing all my clothes. Leander makes a choked sound, somewhere behind him Min sighs. It's not what you think. Elena was in grave condition. I could hardly treat such injuries through tattered clothes. The silence that follows stretches uncomfortably long. I look away, unable to face Chris's disappointment, and catch Veer snickering behind his hand. That's my cue to change the topic. Chris isn't the only one who saved me today. Don't you listen? I didn't save you. You were simply there. That's Min for you. Leander reaches for Min, but they duck under his arm with practiced ease without so much as looking his way. As reliable as they are moody. You're one to talk considering you neglected to warn her to stay off the street tonight. Oh, or I might have gotten a little distracted. Min's only response is a short breath. At any rate, I never forgot a chance to thank you, Min. Don't. The less soul is alive, the better. For a heartbeat, Min's eyes flicker towards Ice, and their lips twist. Ice is too busy nodding along to Veer's enthusiastic pantomime of stabbing to notice, lost, no doubt, in an enthralling discussion. I've had enough of this hellhole. Let's go. Min and Chris share a brief look, then the doctor speaks up. Very well, but there is something I must discuss with Leander, if you'll excuse us, Elena. And just like that, the three of them depart, leaving me alone to savor my gin in silence. Or so I think until I hear a voice so soft and low that it's practically a purr. Lost your tour guide? I turn to find crimson and pink eyes strained on me. It's not lost on me that they chose the instant the others left to strike. Just my luck. I had to be abandoned with the two most irritating people I've met all day. Monsters or not, there's no telling what I'll do if either of them push me again. Don't tell me Leander already snuck off to get his knob slobbered out back. He's got business with Chris and Min. 2-on-1 business, Isn't he lucky? I can't tell if it's the champagne or the company, but Veer has grown noticeably more relaxed. He sits with his chin propped on the back of his hand. His ears twitch whenever a hiccup shakes his shoulders. Why are you so far away? Come, join us. He pats the empty bar stool beside Ice, but I hesitate. The smile Veer wears is sweet and distinctly sly, and with drinks in the mix, I dread how he and Ice will mess with me next. We don't bite. I'm not sure about that. Just hours ago he tried to rob me, and you threatened me. Me? Steal? Surely you must be mistaken. You sure it was me? Yes, it was you, and then you had the gal just kick me out just so you could go drinking. He gives me another one of his shrugs. I was lonely. A simpler answer than I expected, but I guess I can't fault him for that. Veer suddenly slumps forward, gossamer sleeves pulling where he rests his elbows on his knees. Ice sets a hand on Veer's waist, narrowly preventing him from tipping off the counter. How about we start fresh, Begin with proper introductions, get off on the right foot and whatnot. I'll start. The name's Veer, hunter extraordinaire. Veer's right hand flutters to his chest, and he bows his head, flinching when hair falls into his eyes. Ice doesn't say anything, so I suppose it's my turn now. It's Elena. Veer considers me for a long moment, his tail idly swaying behind him. Then he knocks back the rest of his champagne. It's a pleasure to formally meet you, Elena. He says my name slowly and deliberately, savoring every syllable. A tingle jumps down my spine. I quickly turn my gaze away. Ice smirks at my reaction over the rim of his glass. Is something funny? Nope. I open my mouth and close it just as quickly. They want me to react, goading me into another ridiculous game. While their sharp cat-like eyes keep me on edge, something about this tension is fun. It must be the gin. A flash of white over Ice's shoulder catches my eye. Across the bar, Chris heads for the door. I don't see Leander or Min, but it feels wrong to let him leave without saying goodbye. I'll be back. Veer hums and wags his fingers at me as I leave. I slip through the crowd, careful not to touch anyone, but just as I'm nearing Chris... Gah! Gah! I stagger, shoulder checked by a man with a neck thicker than both my thighs. He stares down at me, nostrils flaring. Out of my way, shit stain. My words spill out on their own. You watch it. I look at them as soon as they leave my mouth. That fucking gin. The roughneck wheels around, shoving a bloodhound out of the way so he can close in on me. What did he say? He shoves me backwards, sending me stumbling to the sticky floor. I'm fine, but my heart leaps down my throat when I see the roughneck bearing down on me. You trying to start something here? The roughneck freezes, his fist cocks back. A group of bloodhounds called by the commotion circle him, sizing him up. For what feels like an agonizingly long moment, the roughneck looks from me to the bloodhounds. Finally, he sniffs and spits on the floor next to me. The lob narrowly misses my cheek. Screw it. Too many freaks in this circus tonight. He turns his back on me and comes face to face with Ice. A dangerous smile spreads across his face. You'll do. What happens next is a blur. Ice's fist crashes into the roughneck's jaw, causing an eruption of gas, shouts, and even cheers around us. I scramble to my feet right as the frantic crowd swarms around me, cutting off my sight of everything and everyone. Through the ruckus, I hear Leander shouting, Hey, Ice, take it outside. Ignore them, everyone. Look, drinks are on me. With those four words, the wick erupts with hoots and hollies. The ring around me disperses as bloodhounds and onlookers rush towards the bar. Through the thinning crowd, I catch glimpses of familiar faces. Ice vanishes out the back, dragging the roughneck behind him. Kuros lingers near the door, searching, I suspect, for any wounded before he departs. Min draws their hood up tight as they slip out the side door, while Veer leans over the counter to swipe a glass of wine from behind the bar. And Leander, seated at the opposite side of the bar, gestures dramatically and apologetically at the bartender. In the space of a heartbeat, I realize that there's no telling when or if I'll see any of them ever again. Whoever I pursue may be the last person I get to speak to tonight. Uh-oh, guys. Who do I follow? Gah, Chat. Help. Who do you think I should follow? Chat, please. So, hear me out. What if... I like Leander. I like Leander a lot. And also Ice. Tee-hee! I already saved, right? Okay. So... I think we're going for Mr. Cool Mage Guy, because, pretty. For the second time today, I find myself squeezing through a crowd to reach Leander. As soon as he sees me, his easy smile fades. Are you alright? I'm not used to someone looking at me with such earnest concern. I've been through worse today. From the sounds of it, you've had quite the day. How are you holding up? I'm fine. Could be better. I'm fine. Well, I'm still alive. That counts for something, right? Aurelia is not an easy place to live in, but you get used to it eventually. Let's hope so. Leander signals for the bartender. I'm at the bartender. Ooh, if you're looking for me, I'm at the bar with the... I'm parched. Do you want anything? I'll have a drink. I just keep drinking something. That sounds right. Strong and simple. Adventurous, aren't you? I'm gonna have to keep an eye on you. Of course, you'll also need to keep an eye on me. I've lost count of how many I've had. Deal. Once he's ordered, Leander turns back to me. Did you at least get to try any good food? I had these fried dough sticks from a vendor near here. As soon as I begin describing my meal, his eyes brighten with recognition. The long lads from one stall? You've got to try them with porridge. There's another stall about a block away from these... With these rosewater flour... Oh, God. With these rosewater rice flour cakes. Oh, Jesus. Take one bite and you'll think you've been transported to some Hightown patisserie. Then bam, you open your eyes and it's the same trash-lined street as always. When he laughs, his hair falls over his eyes. He shakes his head and pushes it back. I'll show you some time, if you've decided to stick around Lowtown, that is. The Iridia Leander describes is far different from the one I've experienced, but if you live anywhere long enough, I suppose it becomes homes. It seems like I'll be here for a while. Maybe I'll take you up on that. The bartender returns with a pair of glasses and pushes them our way. Cheers. Leander clings his glass against mine. I take a sip of the malty dark ale, savoring its flavor. It was surprising finding out that you all know each other. I didn't think Iridia would be so small. Do you know how many times I've tried getting them all in one place? It's impossible, like trying to herd a bunch of souls. I take it you know them well? Depends. Was there anyone you're curious about in particular? All of them. Let's say Ice, cause actually, Ver. What do you know about Ver? Leander shakes his head slowly, his expression grave. Veer, a living example of Cenobium's cruelty. Yeah, I could have guessed. Most days they keep him on a short leash. I'm surprised you ran into him. So tell me, what do you make of him? I want to know more about him. Wouldn't we all? He's mysterious, and not just because the Cenobium keeps him locked up. The way they treat him, it's just not right. Do you know why he's a prisoner? Nobody knows. He's been in prison for as long as anyone remembers, but whatever he did must have been awful considering the punishment. He's charming, but like any monster, he's dangerous. If you ever see him out hunting, you'll know what I mean. Leander swirls his glass, choosing his next words carefully. Don't fall for his looks. He'll rip your throat out for fun. Ice. So you're friends with Ice? Have been for a while, but he's rarely in town. Where'd you run into him? The Sea Spring. Leander chokes on his drink. He coughs violently into his fist before giving me a surprised look. You went all the way out there? How'd he treat you? He was intimidating. Intimidating, to be honest. Don't let it get to you. Ice does well in Iridia because he knows how to scare people. He's a monster. You really don't think he's a threat? Not in the slightest. I like to think of us as rivals. We like to keep each other on our toes, you know? Don't you think being rivals with a monster is a bad idea? If you wanted to disembowel you, it'd be easy. No, it's not that serious. Sure, Ice likes to toe lines on purpose, but he's not such a bad guy when you get to know him. Leander sighs and takes a swig from his glass. Min's interesting, not very forthcoming though. Ah, Min, my favorite grouchy freelancer. What's your impression of them? They're irritable. They're a testy. I almost read zesty. They're a testy one. You've got that right. Sometimes even paying Min for work can be a struggle. Min works for you? Contract only. Min refuses to join the Bloodhounds, but they take jobs from me often enough to qualify. Just don't ever call them a Bloodhound, okay? I'll get an earful. Curious. Do you and Curious work together? Occasionally. Did the mysterious, competent doctor catch your eye? He seems like a good person, though it's hard to believe anyone's a good person these days. That's Curious. He works hard to serve the people of Lowtown. He's a miracle worker, even if his bedside manner could use some work. Do you think he might be able to cure my curse? Leander starts to speak, but pauses to consider me for a moment first. Curious is good, but he's only a doctor. Besides, unless you're actively dying, he'll make you wait in line all day like everyone else. That about covers it. Aren't you tired of standing? Let's find somewhere to sit. Leander pushes away from the bar, beckoning me to follow him. He leads me to a small booth hidden in the nook of the bar. A pair of bloodhounds notice him and immediately leap to their feet, offering their seats to us. As I slide into the booth, a web of graffiti scratched into the booth's tabletop catches my eye. The deepest grooves form the outline of the dog from Leander's posters. Dozens of roughly etched names around the drawing, some fresh, some well-worn. What is all this? It's a tradition. Whenever someone joins the Bloodhounds, they have a drink with us, and then they carve in their initials. The barkeeper must have left that. After the first year, she finally stopped charging me extra for damages. 2 years and countless drinks later, she added her own name. You're not planning on recruiting me, are you? He quickly shakes his head. Not yet. You need time to think about your own path. Do you know what you're going to try next? The question gives me pause. I take my hands out from under my cloak and rest them on the table. Do you think you can help me? Of course. We can find answers together. Leander starts to reach for me, as though meaning to take my hand before stopping himself. His eyes flicker to mine. I won't fail you. And if you ever need a taste of normalcy, I'll always be here for you. My chest tightens at the memory of touching him. Even now? Hello? Wait, pause. Leander swallows. The table groans under his elbows as he leans forward. The booth is so narrow that he completely blocks my view of the bar counter. It's almost as though Leander and I are completely alone. If that's what you want. How did it make you feel? It was warm? Exciting? I don't know how to describe it. Leander rests his right hand on the table. He looks at me, smiling when I place my hand in his. Slowly, he begins unwinding the bandages, stopping every so often to glance at me. As my skin becomes visible, I cast a nervous glance around the bar, but as far as I can see, no one is paying us any attention. Leander squeezes my hand gently. No one will notice. He pulls back, raising his hands to his mouth so he can tug his glove off with his teeth. The muscles in his forearm tightens as he flexes his fingers. Our eyes meet and Leander offers his hand again. There you go, hand holding on demand. A lump forms in my throat. I'm certain Leander sees it in my face, the flicker of desperation. His voice lowers to a whisper. Anything you want. Why is this in red? That's crazy. I blurt out the first request that comes to mind. Can I touch your face? Oh, sure. I lean over the table, hesitating before I reach for his face. When my fingers graze his jaw, Leander laughs softly. That tickles. It's fine, you can just... He takes my wrist, angling my hand so he can press his cheek into my palm. Warmth spreads under my fingertips. A surprised breath escapes me. Gently, I run my thumb down the ridge of his scar on his cheek, and he shudders, his earring jingling against my knuckles. You're getting awfully bold. I've never touched someone like this before, and even though it makes my head spin, it's already not enough. I want to be even closer. My heart hammers, filling my ears with a pulse that grows unbearably loud until I pull my hand back. Are you alright? I can barely hear his words over my pounding heart, but I manage to nod. Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I think I'm just getting a little dizzy. He gives me a gentle smile, eyes crinkling at the edges. You've had a long day. You deserve some rest. Luckily, your room is just upstairs. Want me to walk you back? I shake my head and begin wrapping my hand back up. With each deep breath, my head feels more clear. I'm fine, but thanks for, well, everything. Remember what I told you. If you ever need a break from the chaos of the city, I'll be here for you. When I rise, Leander gives me one last smile. Good night. Night. I trudge up the stairs, but even as I leave Leander behind, the warmth of his skin still lingers on mine, burning through the bandages. Oh, cool. I like him. Ugh. So this is where it branches. How long have I been screaming? Streaming. 2 hours? I'm gonna take a quick break and then come back because I need more water and not just Coke and water. Yeah. I'll be right back. BRB. Oh, that was... Sorry, that came back very suddenly. Oopsie. Boo. I'm back. Tee. Hopefully, whenever sound effects occur again, it's okay. Tee. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is well. I hope chat's going good. Meow. And we're back. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Izuna. I think I'm going for Leander. I might do another stream where, I do ices or beers. What if I just stream TOUCHSTARVED but forever you root? Ooh. There's so many men. What happened? Bro, haven't you been here the entire time? Well, you weren't here for Leander, Kuras. I think you were here for Min, actually. Yeah. Right now, I'm really liking this guy. So, like, teehee. And also, I wanted to eat ice cream too, and then I started streaming instead of eating ice cream. Anyways, Leander, my beloved. Oh, Leander offers you something that should be impossible, a taste of normalcy free of your curse. As the first person to withstand your touch, he could change your life, but some things are simply too good to be true. Leander promises to help you unravel your curse, but at what cost? Good point. Food. True. I did eat today. I had lasagna. Veer, the chained charlatan. Veer serves as a warning of the dangers posed by the cenobium. As cunning as he is curious, Veer finds you fascinating and insists that he can help. But trusting him means entrusting your life to a collared beast with a lethal reputation. Can Veer protect you, or are his honeyed words a trap waiting to snap shut? Ice! An intimidating yet laid-back outsider, Ice presides over the sea spring with unnerving powers. He offers you a miracle, but the price means submitting yourself to the horrifying presence at the heart of the spring. Will you gaze into the abyss for power, for answers, or even at the risk of losing yourself? Kuras, the repentant angel. From all appearances, Kuras is the principled doctor of extraordinary skill, but you know little about the man beneath the professional mask. Kuras keeps even his friends at a cool distance. If you'd uncover his deepest secrets, will you like what you find? And then Min. Despite their cold nature and familiarity with violence, Min is just as desperate as you to get into the cenobium. You may be able to help each other, but they're keeping as many secrets as you. They claim they're dangerous, but could they be your only chance at getting into the cenobium? Leander! That's Pookie. This is Pookie right here. Guys, this is my Pookie. Okay. Yeah, we're doing Leander's route. Your guys' opinions don't matter right now. I'm playing. Speaking of you guys, if you're enjoying stream and you're still here and you're not following yet, maybe drop a follow, you know? And maybe if you want to check out my past streams, you check out my YouTube, which is in the description. Is that what it's called on Twitch? And go to my YouTube and subscribe to that if you want to check out my VODs. Or if you want to see me yap on Twitter, there's a link to that as well. So, yeah. Leander Pookie. Oh. I'm killing myself. Guys, I'm upset. Guys, I thought there was more. Guys, I'm upset. Ugh. What do I do? I was ready to stream for another hour. I don't know what to do now. Okay. Well, let me think. Do you think it's possible to die in the opening sequence? I actually, I do want to see that. I do want to see whether it's possible to just die there. I guess I'll start a new one and just see. I just want to see if it's possible to just die. Nana. Okay, 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 okay. Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna stay doing the same one. Just cause. Yes. Unnamed. Hurry, hurry, hurry. I just want to see if it's possible to die. But then I saw it. A famous academy called the Cenobium. Is this Fogfall? Oh. Ah! Head towards the wagon. I take cover beside the wagon where the air is thick with greasy smoke. Fire eats through the gaping hole, spluttering where lantern oil mixes with brackish water. Every person I see is dead or dying except one. Oh, all mothers, forgive our sins, guide us onto your hearth. We are worthy, we are worthy. A traveler grovels by the flames, their hands clasped above their head in fervent prayer. I glance upwards towards the gauzy lights of Iridia, just visible where the fog runs thinnest. I don't pray, not anymore, but the sight of the city is all the reminder I need. I came too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles. Oh, okay. It doesn't branch. Okay, yeah, no, I don't think it branches here. Okay, yeah, no, it doesn't. So that was the demo, guys. How are we feeling? How are we doing? I hope you guys like the game, because I think I like it. I am enjoying it quite a bit. I like the art style. Very, very pretty. The freaking sound effects of the monsters. Ooh. Not gonna lie, when I first started it, hella jump scared me. I was like, hello, what the hell? In case you weren't here from the second I started stream, which is weird because I have, you know, Twitch sends out notifications. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's all for today's stream. I thought it would. That's a pretty good length for a demo. It's been what, 2.5 hours? Not bad. I'm ready for the full game release. Teehee. I want to see all the routes. I'll probably do a playthrough of all the routes too, I hope. Or at least Leander's, because, pretty boy. Actually, I might, yeah, I'll do as many routes as my heart tells, as my heart desires, yeah? Yeah. Hopefully by then I'm better at reading out loud, but, I guess that's all for today. What the hell? Next stream, probably tomorrow? Or at least on Wednesday? Yeah. Yeah. Let's say that. Unsure what I'm gonna stream next. Maybe more Boulder Skate. Actually, I need to finish Fire Emblem. I started the Blue Lines playthrough hella long ago, so I might continue streaming that. We'll see. We'll see how I feel tomorrow and or Wednesday. Or actually on both days, because now that AX is over, I have a lot of free time since I'm graduated from college now, which is freaking weird. What the hell? Okay, so anyways, to wrap up. Thank you guys for watching. Maybe drop a follow? Hang out. You know, be be really cool, chat. It would be really cool if you guys could follow and turn on notifications and check out my YouTube and maybe like the video of the VOD whenever it uploads, probably by tomorrow noon. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye. Oh shit, where's my music?
Praying I got more time before I lose what I'm making. They say I'm still in my prime, so why does it feel like I'm faking? Spending all my life trying to do what's right, but I can't find no one that does the same. Try to compromise, but despite my tries, no, it don't ever go away. So tell me, why's it always coming down? If I'm so sweet, why can't it come back around? I do my best and watch it all go south. Maybe I'm the problem now. And when I think the story goes my way, something comes up and leads it on astray. Can't keep the blame when someone not around. Maybe I'm the problem now. Can't rely on my mind, 'cause I know I'll just debate it. Loop the sequence of events, make it perfect in my head, just so I fuck it up and hate it. Spending all my life trying to do what's right, but I can't find no one that does the same. Try to compromise, but despite my tries, no, it don't ever go away. So tell me, why's it always coming down? If I'm so sweet, why can't it come back around? I do my best and watch it all go south. Maybe I'm the problem now. And when I think the story goes my way, something comes up and leads it on astray. Can't keep the blame when someone not around. Maybe I'm the problem now. Don't try to tell me how I'm doing now. You say it's better, but better ain't blocking out the sound. You try to tell me how they lock me down, but now it's better whenever I'm not the one around. Don't try to tell me how I'm doing now. You say it's better, but better ain't blocking out the sound. Don't try to tell me how they lock me down, 'cause now it's better when I'm not around. So tell me, why's it always coming down? If I'm so sweet, why can't it come back around? I do my